Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up this screen. Oh, yeah. We got a lot of questions going on. We're going to talk about Vols getting the game day, which is our number 2, which is the second time we've had game day at Knoxville. We also are going to talk about, will Bryce Young play? We don't know, but we're going to talk about that because I think I've got a little hunch on that. We're also going to talk about no game day for Kiffin. Poor old Kiffin. And yeah, you know what? Maybe I'm trolling him a little bit, but you know what? Lane Kiffin likes to troll us all the time and everybody else. So what? So I like trolling him. Don't care. All right, so there's several big questions about who's going to play in this game. We've got the question about Bryce Young. We also don't know if Cedric Tillman's going to play, but I've got a hunch on that as well. And so those are the two biggest questions on who's going to play in this game. And I've been sitting here reading through this and been thinking about it. It says, hopefully we're going to try to get him ready to play this week. But this is something nobody can predict, how quickly, etc. And then he says, I don't have an update much more than that. So you get hopefully and you get try. And the thing was, you know, I noticed he didn't throw a single pass warming up for that game against Texas A&M. I mean, wouldn't you just kind of like toss a couple? So that, man, I think it's 50-50 whether he plays in the game or not, and that's a big deal. Look, you know, if he plays, this game's different than if they have their backup. Now, their backup, Jalen Milroe, look, he's a great runner, but his arm talent's not anywhere near where Bryce Young is. It's a very different style of play, kind of like Anthony Richardson, probably somewhat similar to that. I don't know that I don't know, you know, as far as how well he throws the ball. He looked a little bit questionable, and he's also turnover prone as well. So depending on who plays in this game, it's going to matter a lot. So right now I'm going to put it at 50-50 because those words from Saban of we're going to try and hopefully, you just never know. You know, you're talking about a shoulder. That can be a very tricky thing. Now, Greg McElroy thinks that he will play. He said, I feel very confident he will play this week. It's a pain management situation, very optimistic, etc. Said to be surprised if he's not available. And the writer here says, I kind of thought the opposite. We're going to try and get him ready means that if the game was today, he wouldn't be. It's possible that 5 more days will make all the difference. Also possible that Greg's correct, etc. So like I said, I'm just putting it as a coin toss because the fact he was not throwing over there at all, that's tricky. It's hard to know. And, of course, when it comes to Cedric Tillman, Heupel said Cedric's doing good. Said this is part of the reason why he had the surgery is to try to get back for this one, which is Alabama. So, you know, if he's on track to get back for this game, I think he'll play. I'm putting him at about 75% chance or better of playing because that's sort of what they've been aiming for. You know, we'll see. They'll make a good decision. Hopefully, look, I just want him to make the best decision for the Cedric Tillman and for the team. And if those two come together, that's great. He gets to play. If he doesn't, you know what? We've done well even without his skills. And look, you know, his skills are formidable. Look, we'd love to have him on the field. There's no doubt that would cause all kinds of problems for Alabama if he's, you know, able to really go. If he's out there and he's not 100%, then he probably should not go. Look, when you're a wide receiver, you got to make those cuts. You got to do all those things really fast, and you got to have confidence in your ankle. You can't go out there, you know, at 75%. That just won't work. So if he's not ready to go, okay. If he is, that's perfect. Now, as far as game day is concerned, of course, this is the second time that game day will be at Knoxville. You know, first time was Florida. Now we've got Alabama. So that's number 2. And what's interesting, if you look a little further down, they've got Texas at Oklahoma State, number 8. Then they got Ohio State at Penn State. And then look here at week 10. This is an estimate. You know, they don't know this is going to happen. But this is very possible. We could be the 3rd time playing on game day with Tennessee at Georgia, which wouldn't be in Knoxville, obviously, but that would be pretty cool. And then they're talking about they don't know about the rest of it. You know, obviously these are all guesses once you get past a certain point. So we've got the possibility of being on game day 3 times this year. Twice for sure because they're going to be here this weekend, but 3 times is a very real possibility. And our boy Lane Kiffin, he's got a big goose egg. Let me check and see how many times he's been to game day this year. Let's just check. No, Ole Miss, they're 6-0. They've won 6 in a row, and they've had no game day appearances. Let's see why that is. Well, let's see. They've played Troy, who they beat 28-10. Then they played Central Arkansas. Then they played Georgia Tech. Then they played Tulsa. So the first 4 games were sort of cupcakes. Then they played Kentucky. That was a good game. That was 22-19. That's not going to be game day. And then they played Vanderbilt. Whoopity-doo. Next, they play Auburn. Then they're going to play LSU, Texas A&M, then Alabama. So now if they stay undefeated, and Alabama's undefeated, that's a possibility, but that's about what it's going to take. And they've got to beat Auburn, LSU, and Texas A&M to get to that point. So we'll see about that. But there's a very real possibility, and most likely, that he will never see game day at Ole Miss. It's just I don't see it happening for him. And that's okay, you know. Look, there's nothing wrong with never having game day and having your 60,000-seat stadium. That's fine. You know, you left Tennessee in the middle of the night, stabbed us in the back, and ran off to USC where you got fired on the tarmac. And look, for those of you that say, well, you shouldn't be trolling Lane Kiffin, he trolls people all the time. You know what? The funny thing is, I don't particularly dislike him. I just know he likes to troll people, and he stabbed us in the back. So I happen to know there's a high likelihood he's going to see this video. And I just want you to know, Lane, you know what? This could have been you. You could have had game day a couple of weeks ago. You could have game day coming Saturday. You could have game day in a couple of weeks. That'd be 3 times. But you don't get any of that because you decided it was better off on the West Coast. Great choice. Great choice. And then you suffered for a while at Alabama's offensive coordinator. You got yelled at a bunch by Saban, which was, I got a kick out of that. And then you went to Florida Atlantic University Tech, whatever the name of that place was that you coached at. And now you finally at least got to a good school in Ole Miss. You know, not at Tennessee. You mean, you're not at Tennessee. You're not at a big school, but you're an okay school at Ole Miss, and that's good enough for you. So that's pretty interesting. So no game day for you.
Good. Very good. You know something? No soup for you!
Yep, no suit for you, Lane. It's too bad. Oh, and here's one good thing. I do have Lane Kiffin on the satellite, and he's ready to say something to us. He's not happy about this game day business and me giving him grief. So, you know, he wanted to be on the channel, and that's fine. I don't have any problem. The coaches want to be on the channel. That's fine with me. Come on, and that's cool. So let's see what Lane's got to say. Well, hello there, Sports Talk Jay. I hear you're trolling me. Do you really think I care that game day keeps coming to Knoxville and we can't get them down here in Ole Miss, even though I'm 6-0? 6-0, and they won't even talk to me. They won't come down. Do you think that really bothers me? Seriously, you think that bothers me? Of course it bothers me. It bothers me to no end. I had that job. I had it all squared away. I had Knoxville in the palm of my hand, literally had Knoxville in the palm of my hand, and I walked away because I wanted to – I messed up big time. That's what it boils down to. And now I'm at Ole Miss, and I'm jealous, and I just – how do you get game day twice and maybe 3 times, and I can't get them once, and I'm 6-0? Why does that happen? Why do I have 60,000 people coming to the game and half of them leave at halftime, and you've got 102 up there singing Rocky Top after the game, and you take over Death Valley, and you had – I don't know that I can take this. I just really don't. This is so unfair, especially for a guy like me. I never troll anybody. You know, I just try to be calm and quiet, and I don't bother a soul. And here you are trolling me about this, something that really bothers me big time. I'm about sick of you, Sports Talk Jay. I'm about sick of you, and I may not come back on this channel, but I'm such a narcissist. I almost have to. Oh, I'm so mad. I don't know what to do. Crap. Have fun with your ESPN Game Day crap that everybody's so excited about, and all your 102,000 people, and you're singing your songs and all that. Look, I'll have my 30,000 people at the end of my game, and we'll, I don't know, we'll eat crackers, and we'll do something. It'll be super fun. I can't wait. Anyway, so sick of you, Sports Talk Jay. Leave me alone. Well, all right, Coach Kiffin, appreciate you coming on the show. Sorry I have to troll you all the time, but hey, you know what? You deserve it. You do it to everybody else, and hey, sometimes that's the way it works out. So enjoy your 30,000 people at the end of the game, and we'll enjoy our 102 in game day every week, it seems like. I hate trolling this guy. Could have been enjoying all this greatness. But you know what? I wouldn't take 10 Lane Kiffins for 1 Josh Heupel. I'm so pleased with Josh Heupel, and I've told you I'd sign this guy to a multi-year deal, plenty of money, and I would just put this to bed because this guy's killing it. This offense is amazing. I don't ever want another offense. I'll just go ahead and tell you, I'm so pleased with this. Teams are scared to death of this offense. Did you see the way that Billy Napier and Coach Kelly tried to coach against us? I mean, they were literally freaking out. It was like the first time they got the ball, they were like, oh, God, we got to score. Oh, if we don't score, what's going to happen? Tennessee's going to, they're going to score. So I love it. I want them freaking out like that. They should be. Now, I don't expect Nick Saban to freak out like that. I expect him to coach like a human being and not somebody that's scared to death. You know, look, I've told you, Coach Saban to me has always been sort of an Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah. Only now, at the end, do you understand?
Yep, he's got his blue lightning. But you know what? He may not have that blue lightning this weekend. We may have to reverse it on him and put him right down into that big hole. Yeah, it may be time for us to win this game. I feel really good about it, and I'm very excited about it. And I know you are too. I mean, it's going to be awesome. I love the fact that game day's here. That even makes it better. And I'm very confident in Hendon Hooker and our coaching staff. And look, our defense showed up against LSU. Hopefully they can show up again. I think it's going to be a great game. It might be epic. I think it could be high scoring as well, and that's okay. Look, you know, you're going up against the very best with Alabama, so if it winds up being a 3 or 7 point game, so be it. You know, you're not going to just knock them down and beat them by 20 or 30 like we did LSU. That doesn't happen to Alabama. And what I think Knoxville's ready to do is to say exactly this.
You shall not pass!
That's right, Alabama. You shall not pass. It's going to be an amazing game. I'm so fired up about it. Part of me is really hoping Bryce Young does play. That way, if we do win, they won't be able to have any excuses in Alabama. And that'll be yet another streak we end. We've already ended 3 streaks. We're going to end a 4th, I hope. This is going to be super fun. Anyway, if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover the Vols. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'd certainly appreciate it. And I hope you did like the content. We'll see you next time on Sports Talk J.